Hello, everyone. It's Friday morning. Friday? I mean, it's kind of been a weekend for the whole week, but not like a real weekend. In any case, it's Friday morning, and Friday is usually the day where we do a really awesome noon soul sculpt class. We add a little bit of heat, we do some groovy indie music, we get nice and warm and cozy, and we get a really nice deep burn. So I'm gonna bring a little bit of that to you all today. You don't need any equipment, but I'm gonna give a few equipment suggestions. So, this was fun for me, I'm not gonna lie. So perhaps you have some light weights. These are 3-pounders. You could use 2s, you could use if you have like 1 or 2 pound balls, 3-pound balls, even 5s you could use by all means, but a lot of this is muscle endurance, strength training, so you don't need big heavy guys for this. Now, if you don't have weights, you could use some cans. I'm sorry to any of the Italians out here, I do have canned tomatoes. I know, sacrilege. But they are about 1 pound, so you could use some cans. Or you could use some booze. Now, maybe you're starting to empty your booze. Don't drink all the booze just so you can have empty bottles. Don't do it. But if you do have some empty bottles, maybe you want to fill them up with water. These full are about 5 pounds. So, and it's also hilarious because when was the last time since, your college days that you were bicep curling bottles of booze? So this could be your other alternative. If you have a band, a resistance band of some sort, you can certainly use them. I'll give you some options. If you have a glider or a slider, anything like that, you can use that. But alternatively, you can just use a towel, just a small hand towel, even a face cloth will work to slide along the floor. If you're on carpet, you're probably not gonna slide, so I'm gonna give you some other options. Finally, we'll do a nice stretch at the end. So if you have a stretch strap, awesome. If not, you could also use a belt, or again, you could use the towel and just wrap it around your legs and so on and so forth. So, let's get the party started. I'm not gonna play any music. We are taping this on another phone so that I can actually upload it on YouTube. This is such a technical curve for me, so I'm learning every day. Thought I had the other ones taped. Clearly I don't. So I apologize to everybody that hasn't been able to catch it in the 24 hours or doesn't have Instagram, and we will start uploading these onto YouTube so that you guys can enjoy them later on and enjoy them in different formats and so on and so forth. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I hope you're all well out there. Okay, I get so excited to see who's here. Okay, morning everyone. Hi Sam, hi Alex, hi Carly, hi Holly. Oh, the people, all of the regulars, really, we're here. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few of these things into frame, and then at the end of the workout, I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a big kettlebell with a backpack. The fun we're gonna have. Okay, let's just start to move those limbs. Let out some of the tension in your chest and your upper body. Gently sway side to side, spreading the toes. And then let's roll one arm back. Big rolls, like you're back stroking with one arm and the other arm. Yes, oh, that does feel really nice. And then my good old favorite arm clasp, opening up through the heart center, opening up all those compressed chest muscles from either leaning over the computer or just plain old stress. This one's a goodie. And then again, opening up through your side body, move those hips, roll the wrists out, Spanish dance styles. And then let's do some gentle leg rolls. So there won't be any plyometrics today, no jumping around. This is all really deep burn stuff. I don't want to lead you to believe this will be easy. That would be a false pretense. But it really is. You can really shift the levels, and you can really work it at your own pace. I love this style of class. It feels good, and it is a nice, ignites that inner fire, that inner strength, which is really helpful. Okay, nice deep breath in, and exhale into a forward fold. Just let everything hang, and then roll it up, vertebrae by vertebrae, and again, inhale up, and exhale down. Let everything hang. Really let the head hang and roll it up. Soften those knees, hug in the lower abdominals. And third time lucky, inhale up and exhale down, opening up through the chest. And roll it up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Okay, now I'm going to be doing timed intervals. And I'm actually facing the clock today, which I think will be quite helpful. So we're going to do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for this one. If you have weights, you're welcome to use them, or you can grab some cans or bottles. You can also go weight-free. It will be work no matter how you cut it. So, first move, feet just fairly parallel. If you have your mat, it could be the width of your mat, literally lined up along the sides. Arms locked into your side, 90 degrees. It's like you're trying to touch your elbows at the back. And we're going to do a big old squat, lifting the toes up, pressing the weight into the heels, and adding an arm extension. Here we go, party time. In 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Down and stretch it out. Down and stretch it out. So with those arms, if this is like a move you haven't done before, it should be quite challenging, weight or no weight. If you're doing it at full range of motion, really trying to touch those elbows behind you, squeeze the rotator cuffs together, and then really stretch the arms out long, involving the shoulders and a gentle bit of trap. And with these squats, lift your toes. Oh yeah, you can do this with bare feet, socks. You don't need shoes, because we're not jumping around, so you don't need too much padding. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that was actually a full minute. Just kidding. I like to just add something in there or not quite pay attention to the clock, and bam, we've done even more work than you imagined. Okay, next up, we're going to do similar, but we're going to add in some heel raises. So again, 40 seconds, I'm just going to start on in 3, 2, 1. So arms locked into the same position, toes up, knees over the middle of the toes, so you should see your big toes on the inside, and chest up, bum down, and we're going to pulse. Now if you want to add in some arm, squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. Small little moves, tiny but effective. Now we have 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it down, 20 seconds. Now I'm feeling a healthy burn in my quads. I hope you are too. Maybe sit a little bit lower. And breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, come on up. Okay, shake it out. Draw those shoulders down and back. One more time. Down in the same position, seated, and we're going to do heel raises. So you can either do single heels or double heels. Be mindful of all the little muscles around your ankles, metatarsals. This is quite challenging. Maybe you moderate between the two options, or maybe you just stay down in that isometric squat. So that just means hanging in a human chair pose. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, take it away. Arms are still hanging here. If you don't have weights, or even if you do, you can lift them up to the sides, a little harder on the shoulders, and sit back nice and low. Heel raises. Getting into the muscles in the calves. Soleus, gastrocnemius, tibialis. I know, it sounds like a bunch of dinosaurs, right? Hi to kids out there on the mention of dinosaurs. And keep moving through this. Maybe you sit a little lower as those heels come up. Draw the shoulders down and back for 3, 2, and we're gonna attempt to hold those heels up for 20 seconds. Maybe you hold one up for 10 and the other up for 10. We're now at the halfway mark. Breathing, maybe sitting lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shake it off. Okay, that was hard. I'm gonna qualify that as challenging. But it was also awesome, so I think we should do it all again, bam. Without overthinking it too much. Here we go. From the first one, full range of motion squats, arm extensions. In 3, 2, 1, take it away. Now I'm being nice and vocal with my breath, just to remind us all that breathing good, that we should do that. Very helpful for the workout, sending oxygen to all the muscles, ensuring we are in fact breathing. Also gives a meditative quality to the movement, forces us to be more mindful in that movement. I like to exhale on the concentric contraction, so the hardest part. And we're just gonna move right through this minute as we did last time. If we can do it once, we can do it again. And 5, 4, sit lower, 3, 2, 1. I know some of you out there are like, I wanna amp it up. If you wanna jump squat, I will not stop you. But I think by round 3, you'll find the burn starts to arrive. Let's do those pulses. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Toes up, chest up, bum back. Draw the belly in. Look down, make sure those knees are buckling in or out, but they're right over the middle of your feet. And maybe you pulse those shoulder blades together. Rotator cuff squeezes. Little Pilates style breath, or pilates, as some of us like to say. And keep it going for 4, 3, 2, hang it low and hold. Maybe you extend the arms and hold. Maybe you sit lower and hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it off. How are we doing out there? A little check-in. Hello, everyone. If you just joined in, we're already starting the big, beautiful burn, a good old soul sculpt. Good, happy Friday morning. Let's do the third round in this trio of squat wonder. That's what I'm gonna call this, the squat wonder. So we're gonna hang in an isometric squat, heels raising up, then we're gonna do a heel hold. You can alternate those heels, or you can just stay in the squat. I say just, lightly, no matter what, challenging. 3, 2, 1, 40 seconds of those heel raises. You can do one at a time, or both, up and down. So you don't want to be too zesty with this. By zesty, I mean speedy. Keep it nice and slow and mindful. Ideally on the breath, feeling contact with all 5 toes, down on the ground, drawing the belly up and in, having a gentle little pelvic tilt so that you're not putting too much pressure on the lumbar spine. If you want to increase this challenge, go a little lower. That'll do the trick. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and hold those heels up. If this feels too intense, 1 down. I'll give you the halfway mark. We are at the halfway mark. Maybe you switch. Maybe both of your heels are still up. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it off. Well, that was fun. I'm already sweaty, warm. We're gonna move on. We've got lots of fun stuff to do. I could be quite chatty, as you know. We're gonna push forward. So either the glider or a towel. You're gonna go under your right foot. I also discovered yesterday that the camera flips were actually all on the same feet. Oh, the things I'm learning. So you're gonna put it under the leg that's gonna go back. So we're doing lunge slides back. Now, hopefully you have enough space. You may have to adjust accordingly. Ideally, your back leg is straight here. So it's a big skater stretch, big skater lunge right there. And then we're gonna add some optional pulses in. Now, if you want to use weights or cans or bottles, you can reach the arms out in front of you and add in a little bicep curl. So I'm gonna demonstrate that as well. Okay, here we go. 40 seconds full range, then we're gonna add a 20-second pulse option. And 3, 2, 1, take it away. So, get that big lunge into place first. And if and when you're ready for that high bicep curl, you can toss that in. Shh. Now coming up tends to be the most challenging part, this part right here. We're really using a whole other set of muscles, even getting into the pelvic wall, squeezing up on that eccentric contraction. For 3, 2, now you can keep going slow, or you can join me for these pulses, like you're trying to wax your floor about 8-inch distance. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire leg. That's what should have happened. Burning in the supporting leg quad. Okay, let's switch, other side. Put the towel or glider under the other foot. And we have 3, 2, 1, slide it back. And up. Now if you want to add that high bicep curl, go wild. Go bicep bananas. Keep drawing in the navel. Keep an eye on that front knee. This is also a balance exercise. So if you're feeling wobbly at all, slow it down. Keep your eyes focused on something that isn't moving. And we're gonna head into those optional pulses. Moving that leg back, bending the front knee. This is where the motion happens. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that did the trick for me. Hope it did the trick for you. Fire legs. I feel like I'm talking to my son when I'm trying to teach him new words. He would reply, fire legs. It's very cute. If you guys want to reply as well, you can. Let's do some lateral lunges. So we're going to switch that towel once again under the right leg. You can hold those weights. I'm going to give you a different option this time. And you're coming down, all the weight is on the left leg. So it's tempting to shift your pelvis, but I want your pelvis to stay rooted over the supporting leg. Bending the supporting leg, other leg is straight, bum out, chest up, big bend here, bum back. And then come on up, tush squeeze. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Optional weights, squeezing together. Yes. Now if you wanted to push out and in, you could. I really hope that there's some of you holding 2 big bottles of alcohol and pushing them forward and out. If you're doing that, and somebody can record you doing that, please send it to me. It would really make my day. Multiple uses, and not including drinking. Yeah, it sort of defeats a little bit of the workout, so just keep those booze in the bottles and use them as weight. And squeeze that up here. Okay, optional pulses. Now if this feels too intense, by all means, just keep that big range of motion going. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hallelujah. No, but we really should. We should all sing. At the end, we'll find some good big old song to sing together. I'll think of that for the next workout. In the meantime, place that glider or towel under the other leg. Same thing. In 3, 2, 1. Maybe at this point you're wondering, are we going to do this all again or not? This is a one-time wonder. One-time wonder with these exercises. You could add a little bit of a military press. There's an option. If you do have big sort of bottles or anything, stick with this variation so don't knock yourself in the head. Again, humorous for a minute, but for 40 seconds, not as funny. And really bend deeply on that supporting leg, bum back. One more, and optional pulses. Chest up, bum down, abdominals drawn up and in. Maybe you smile, just to send positive endorphins to the brain. Confuse the brain, I'm having fun. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and shake it off. Shake it all off. Okay, we do have one more exercise. It's all trios today. Here's a couple couplets. 3 exercises in this section. We're gonna do curtsies. So, place that towel or glider under the right foot, and we're gonna come into a curtsy. So, how is a curtsy different than, for example, a lunge? Well, you're gonna get a big twist through the hips, a big stretch in the hip rotators. Also gets into your gluteus medius a little bit more, which everybody loves. Who doesn't love getting into their gluteus medius? No friend of mine, I'll tell you that much. So, you're aiming the leg behind you and bending. So basically, you're taking a bow. Taking a big old bow for the people. In 3, 2, 1, and let's curtsy. Chest up, bum down, back knee down. Now your range of motion will vary depending on the lengths of your various joints and your ankles, knees, hips. So maybe you're not bending quite as deeply. Totally okay. The work is happening, I guarantee you. And again, if you want it, you could add in that military press. In 5, 4, 3, 2. How are we going to do the pulsing? Well, let me tell you how. You can either pulse here in the curtsy, or you could push, twisting the torso forward. Oh, that burn is good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ha, 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 ha. That's my feeling. That's the sound effect that goes with the feeling accompanying my legs. Maybe you feel the same. Let's do it on the other leg. Last bit of work on our quads for this entire class, really. So give it your all. In 3, 2, 1, Here we go. Curtsy on the left, or with the left leg drawing behind. Optional. Now, whether or not your arms are going up and down at the same time as mine, don't worry about that coordination so long as there's a tempo and a match with the upper body and lower body. So maybe it looks like this, and that's totally fine. Yeah. And 3, 2, 1. Still the arms. Focus on those legs. Draw the shoulders down and back. Chest tall and proud. Bending that front leg. Pressing the other leg back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it all off. Put those weights down, grab a drink, have a laugh, take a moment, time check. It is mind-blowing to me how quickly this goes by. Maybe you've felt like it's been longer than I have. How's everybody doing out there? Hello, everyone. So nice to see you all. Take a moment for a breather, a little break, and we're gonna get back on the soul train for Soul Sculpt. Okay, did that, bam. We've one more leg exercise. Now, if you have a band you've placed around your ankles, add a bit more resistance. If not, this will work standing as well. So, we're gonna get all around the business here. So, right leg pulsing back, and we're gonna immediately shift. Left leg pulsing back, shift. Right leg pulsing front, shift. Left leg pulsing front. So, we're gonna get around hip flexors, gluteus medius. We'll get a bit into the max. Without further ado, let's do it. And take it away. Now, I'm just gonna bring my hands into a prayer and pray for my back butt, the side butt. Draw the abdominals in, soften the supporting leg. If you have resistance band on, it's gonna add a little punch to this. Now, if you don't have any of this equipment, you can always order it in. Things like resistance bands are very cost effective. And as I've said before, to any of the members or people that take part at this studio, I'm happy to loan equipment, leave it outside, and you can pick it up. It will be all disinfected and in a bag for you. So just drop a line and let me know. I will sign it out for free. Okay, we have 3, 2, 1, shift to the other side. Yeah, now if you want to work a little bit harder, bend your supporting knee even deeper. Make sure to drop your torso. I have my foot back there dorsiflexed because I feel like it forces the engagement of all those muscles. You can take it out to the side a little bit more to get a little bit more into the glute med. Keep breathing. Feel all the feelings. Draw the belly up and in. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shift into the front. Maybe you put your hands on your hips. Maybe you keep those palms together. I encourage you to soften your supporting leg just so that it's the big muscles taking the load rather than your joints. It also forces a little more work on the quads because we haven't worked those today at all. Zinger. And keep it moving for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shift. Other side. Keep that torso tall. Imagine there's a cord at the crown of your head pulling you long. Draw in the lower abdominals. Spread the toes of the supporting leg. Keep that pulse small. The leg does not need to be high. It could be low. If you can get a little higher, absolutely. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are done with the legs. Okay, let's get down onto this mat, or onto a mat, a floor, what have you. We're gonna get into the arms. So we're gonna do tricep push-ups. A little bit different than traditional push-ups that work mostly across the chest. We're gonna bring the arms a little bit closer together and right underneath your armpits, and you're gonna be diving your chin forward. So if you can imagine that you're creating a triangular shape and that the head is in front of you, elbows behind you. For those yogis out there, this is sort of like a chaturanga, very much like that. Focusing a little bit more on working the triceps as opposed to the pecs and delts. So you can do it knees down, right here, and you'll notice how far I'm gonna dive forward. Bringing my elbows into my rib cage. You also want to avoid sinking into the lower back, so really be mindful to puff the back up. It's really challenging to do the full variation. So, here we go. 40 seconds of tricep curls. We're going to do a 20-second recovery to head into our next exercise. In 3, 2, 1, and take it away. Tricep push-up. Spread those fingers. Look forward, aim the chin down, aim the elbows back. You can always come into a full version. Make sure to keep the bum up in that full version. Keep the eyes forward. Keep breathing. Maybe you exhale on the way up. The eccentric tends to be harder in this one. And we have 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we're gonna work through the upper back, opening up through the chest, squeezing through the back. If you have weights, by all means use them. We're squeezing the rotator cuffs together. If you don't have weights, this will still be a very challenging exercise. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Gluing those feet on, lifting the head, and drawing the elbows in towards each other. And don't feel like you need to crook the neck. You're just lifting the head off the ground. Really pulling together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Maybe that means coming up onto all fours, rounding the spine. Maybe you come back into a momentary child's pose. Take the recovery you need. We're gonna head into 40 seconds of regular push-ups. In 3, 2, 1, and. Arms are nice and wide this time. Again, aiming the chin down. You're not going as far forward. Full push-ups, bum up, chest down, chin down. Working across the big muscles at the front of the chest and shoulders. Really fight to keep the core engaged. Pull the belly button into the spine. Breathe. Don't feel like you need to speed it up. Keep it slow and mindful. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna lie back on our belly. Optional to grab those weights again. We're gonna do prone style shoulder presses. You could use the weights or not. It's gonna be challenging either way. Here we go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting the head just a couple of inches, and up and down, up and down, pressing up and down, up and down. Shh. Shh. Keep moving those arms. You can put the weights down anytime. See what kind of range of motion you can get. Can you stretch the arms out? Maybe you always find they're slightly bent, which might just mean you're a little tight in your shoulders. So don't sweat it. I mean sweat it, but don't sweat it. Keep it going, pressing up and down for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and shake it off. Okay. I'm going to cut you a little short on those. If you want to come back and do all of those again, I certainly won't stop you, but I want to move us through this workout so that we can get it done in under the hour. So we're going to head into our abdominals. If you have the band, you can keep it on around your ankles, and you can do all of these exercises without the band as well, but I'm going to demonstrate with the band. So we're going to do our abductor straddles and abdominal curls. So make a little basket with your hands, place it around the back of the head, the roundest part of the head. Lift the chin and chest, don't crack the neck, but look up to the sky. Dorsiflex the feet, parallel. We're going to open and close, open and close. We're going to do 40 seconds here in 3, 2, 1, and blast off. So I'm just going to hold the chest up isometrically. If you want to pair it up with a little curl, you can. I'm going to focus just on the legs here, since I do have a little band. And again, you can do all of this without any props or equipment. So this is still going to be awesome. You can imagine some resistance as you open and close, open and close. If you want to work a little bit harder, you could drop the legs a little lower for your last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give it a rest. Maybe you swish those legs side to side. Maybe you just take a moment and breathe. 20-second recovery here. Next exercise, you're going to do single leg drops. You could switch this to double leg drops right here. If you have the resistance band, this is quite challenging. 40 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Keeping that head elevated. If this bothers your lower back at all, rest the head, take your hands, place them underneath your sacrum, just tilt the pelvis up slightly, relax the head, and work here. You can also bend the knees ever so slightly. So this is your alternative. But if it feels good and it's just plain old hard work, then do your best to stay here. Maybe you add in a few of those big double leg drops. In 3, 2, and 1. Give it a rest. Give it a breather. We're going to do both of those exercises one more time because they're just so good. You know, you don't want to quite be done with them yet. You want to say proper farewell. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. So these are abductor straddles with a little bit of a lift for the upper rectus abdominis. So abductors, again, all these dinosaur names, they're the muscles down along the outsides of the legs. Great for cross training as we work the hamstrings and quads intensely in a lot of other fitness activities. This is really great. And be sure to avoid that parallel, or the turn down alignment. We're really going to try and stay parallel here. So have those big toes pointing in towards each other. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Take those valuable few seconds of recovery. We're going to head into those leg drops in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down and up, down and up. Maybe down and up. Listen to your body. If your lower back is bothering you at all, bend your knees. Place those hands underneath the lower abdominals. Maybe rock here. Nothing should ever be painful. Difference between work and pain. And last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, give it a little rest. This next part might be my favorite part. We've got our whole side series. So we're gonna do some side planks. And just to rewind, because people will sometimes say, well, this is bothering me, this is hurting. What is the difference between workout pain and actual pain? And you know, it's a fine line, but where I sort of draw it is anything sharp. Anything that feels like, ouch, like that might make you cry out, that you feel in your heart of hearts like you're making it worse. If it's a chronic injury, if it's something you know has already been bothering you, then really the answer is stop. Adapt, take a break. There should never be any of that kind of pain. Now, different is the work pain, like where you feel your muscles working. Maybe you might even reach a state of exhaustion or your muscles completely stop. We call that muscle failure. I call it muscle success. So that's different. That's the work of the workout. And that might be described as painful to some, but really there is a difference between the two. Blah, 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 blah. Let's move on to some work. I just gave you a break there. Bam. Okay, we're gonna go into side planks. So, pick a side, any side, we're gonna reverse it all. A little side plank workshop here. You're gonna line up your elbow underneath your armpit. Maybe you make a fist. You can bend those knees, line up your heels to your hips. And why bend the knees? Because it'll give you a nice push-up. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. If you go from straight, you have nowhere to go. But if there's a slight bend in your knees, then as you push up into that side plank, you're creating some distance. And this is the good stuff here, because then we can add some hip dips, we can do all that business. Now, if this feels tough to balance, you can take your top leg and put it in front. You can also drop your bottom knee. So, you know, it's choose your own adventure here. This is your adventure. So you want it to be challenging, but also enjoyable. So, let's go. We're gonna do side plank optional hip dips in 3, 2, 1, and go. Maybe you keep your hand on your hip. Maybe you reach your hand up. Maybe you add a weight or two. Maybe you bring the foot in front for better balance. Maybe you drop the knee and you can still work those hip dips. If the hip dips are feeling too challenging, you could also hold. Hold and breathe. We are into our last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down onto your side. We're taking a 20-second recovery. A couple of options here. Crunching into your side, bringing the elbow up to the knee, working here. If you want to work a little bit harder, you could bring both knees, crunching into your side. 40 seconds in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. It must feel like I'm trying to turn you on and off. Ooh. With a remote. Come on, people. Get your minds out of the gutter. Mine lives there, so I just have to ask other people to get out. We can't all be there at the same time. How about those obliques? How about them? 15 more seconds. And crunch. So this is for the external obliques. Our last exercise was for our internal obliques. So basically, we're getting all around the waistline. And 3, 2, 1. Ha ha. Yes. 20-second recovery. Gonna take your top leg over the bottom leg. If that sort of feels oddly not fun pretzel, then take it behind. And you want to make sure that you're on the butt padding. You can also relax the head here. We're going to dorsiflex the bottom foot. We're working the adductors, those inner muscles of the legs. In 3, 2, 1, we're going to do this for a hot minute because of all the feelings that are going to happen later on as we get into this. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you've done this exercise, you know what you're in for. The leg is long, aiming your heel up as opposed to the big toes, hugging the abs in, resting the neck as best as possible. And again, if you're coming into this a little bit later, you just need a reminder, you could also take that top leg towards the back. It really doesn't change the exercise and what's gonna happen. Now I call this exercise the slow burn because at first you're like, what's happening here? And then all of the feelings start to emerge in those inner thighs. Like, it's happening for me right now. Is it happening for you? I'm gonna hear a hell yes, all that, I can feel it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ha, ha. There's the sound effect. Okay, we're gonna do all of that goodness on the other side. Here we go. Starting off with those side planks, lining that elbow underneath the armpit. You can always put something underneath, maybe a shirt, maybe even a pillow, just for the boniness of the elbow. Bend those knees, and 3, 2, 1. Push on up into that plank of choice. Maybe the top leg comes in front, maybe the knee comes down, maybe you hold isometrically, maybe you bring your arm up, maybe you add the hip dips. So many possibilities. So this exercise can work for us all. There's no doubt it is challenging. It's big work in those internal obliques. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down onto your side. Top leg. Oh, almost forgot. I forgot an exercise yesterday. People let me know. They were like, MJ, get with it. There's some Russian twists, and we know there's Russian twists, and I feel like you guys did it at home anyway. Love you guys for that. But I'm gonna try not to forget anything today. I mean, I've got it written out in front of me. So, side crunches. 3, 2, 1. We're here, or here. These big old side crunches, pulling up. Maybe you support yourself a little bit on that arm so you can really push yourself up. We have 15 more seconds of this good stuff, and again, you can stay here. Don't feel like you have to do the other option. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. We're gonna cross that top leg over. Bottom leg, dorsiflexed, aiming the heel up. And we've got 1 minute of those adductor pulses. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. What I like about this one is it's sort of like we're having a nap, like just a nice little side lie down, chilling out together, saying hi, having like almost like pillow talk, how you doing? And then your leg goes on fire. And then you're like, oh right, I'm working out. But until we get there, okay, yep, it's about now. Yep, it's starting to happen. There we go. Now maybe you take this leg behind. Maybe the other version doesn't feel super comfortable. And no matter what, inner thigh adductors still burning. And keep those abdominals engaged. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, that is good stuff. Okay, we are nearing the end, my friends. I could have done all of that one more time, but alas, we've been working out for 50 minutes, 50. So let's do a couple of last abdominal exercises because I know you love them, and I've got a couple goodies for you today. So you can use either a can or a weight. We're gonna stand it up, and we're gonna do, I've called these jump cans, but you know, really, this is just gonna really isolate into the lower abdominals as well as the hip flexors. Fingers aimed back. You're leaning back ever so slightly, so it's like you're almost in a Russian position, but we're going from here. Up and down, up and down. Now if that's like, whoa, like relax, or you need to just pull it back a bit, you can also work here. one leg over. This is kind of burlesque-y. Hello. You know, so this is also fun. But this is a whole other thing. So, you know, choose your own adventure. We are already in. Let's say we've started. Now, if you want to go even one step up, don't touch down. Don't touch down. Oh yeah. Let's do 5. And if you're here, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, you can take that one home with you. That one's pretty real. Okay, next up, I'm gonna grab your glider or your towel. Roll up your mat. Many of you guys will know this exercise well. It's one of my favorite. Really gets deep into your transverse abdominals. It just takes the plank to a whole other level. Now, of course, planks are tough as they are. So you can always stay in a regular plank. You can always stay in a plank with your knees down. I'm going to demonstrate this as best I can without coming around in a room. You are in a plank. You can hang here. You can also drop your knees and hang here. If you're going to do those glider slides, you're moving back and forth through the shoulders. So it's like you're trying to clean the floor. And if you imagine that there's a ceiling above you and your body is cleaning it. So what I want you to avoid is this. That's different. Still effective, but different. Here, we're moving back and forth through the shoulder joint. We're gonna go for 40 seconds. You may need to take a break in there, as this is like a good 8 or 9 out of 10 challenging. 3, 2, 1, for most of us anyway, myself included. So, now the further front and back you go, the harder it is. Maybe you even lift one leg up. I don't know, you could make it more challenging. Going front and back. We have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it out, press back into child's pose. Take a breather. We're gonna do one last exercise on our back so that we can meet back in a supine position for some stretches. Now, I don't know where I thought I was gonna have the time, but I do have 7 other exercises planned. So I'm just gonna pick my favorites. Yeah, let's go to a good old standard here. Lifting up through the abdominals, tabletop, lengthen out 45 degrees or higher, scissor switches. You can work with the legs stacked above the hips. You can go a little bit lower. This is more challenging. Again, you can place the hands underneath the lower abdominals and work here, here. 40 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. This is going to be our last exercise today. Last bit of burn. If you want to challenge yourself even more, you could reach the arms up and lengthen those legs. Little tiny switches, like your ballerina jumping, you are halfway through. Maybe you go up and down, so it's like a dance in the air. Eye line is up to the ceiling. Keep lifting that chest up. And breathing. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees in. Rock out the lower back. Oh yeah. Take a moment. Stretch everything out. Like you're waking up first thing in the morning. And if you have a stretch strap, awesome. If you have your towel handy, we're going to place it around the leg and stretch. If you feel like your towel, your cloth is long enough, you can by all means hold behind the leg. If you do have a belt or a stretch strap, really awesome here. Regular old supine hamstring stretch. We're gonna hang here. You could bend the supporting leg, but you can also lengthen it out. Keep it engaged. I'm gonna come and chat with you all for a moment. Time check, we'll look at that. 55 minutes. That was a workout. You know, there was no jumping and it was all slow, but I think it was pretty deep. I felt it for sure. I hope you did too. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. And the sun, well, it's sort of overcast, but the light is shining through. There is a world out there. Go for a walk when and if you can. If you have a balcony, just stand outside and take in some fresh air. It's gonna be really cold tonight, apparently. So it'll be crisp air, but right now it's quite warm. If you haven't switched legs, switch over, stretch out that left leg. Give it a big old stretch. My pleasure, everyone out there. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. It's really hard to be isolated, and this is an amazing way to know that we're all still out there and connected. So it's it gives me a real sense of purpose to be able to do this every day. This is my life's work. So when it's pulled out from under me, I feel the equilibrium lost, and this is really helping to ground me. So believe me, it's a win-win situation for all of us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, let's swing on up to a seated position and wrap whatever you have around those feet and come into a forward fold. If you don't have any stretching device or a belt or anything like that, wrap it around the outsides. And one more big breath here. We could hang in these stretches all day long. Probably the most important stretch for today, your quads. Take one leg back, stretch it out, and hang there. And while you do those quad stretches, I'm gonna chat a little bit about our homemade weight, kettlebell. So I have, earlier, if you missed it, I spoke about possible weights. Maybe you don't have weights at home, maybe you don't wanna order them, which is totally cool. If you have some big cans, these are about 1 pound each. You could use those for little lightweights. If you have some big bottles at home, either that are full or empty that you can fill up with water, these can be as heavy as 5 pounds each, and also hilarious. Don't feel like you need to drink anything in them to create a weight. Unnecessary, but you can certainly take your time working through it. Then, if you have a backpack, you can fill a backpack up with cans, books, bricks, rocks, whatever, and your backpack could be as much as 50 pounds. Mine today, I weighed it and it's 25. I actually can't believe it's 25 pounds. It doesn't feel that heavy to me, but it is, it's 25 pounds. And tomorrow I want to do a variation of muscle jack using all sorts of home equipment options. And people have been asking if I'm going to do Fit Pop. I will definitely be doing a live Fit Pop class. There's also Fit Pop on our YouTube channel. So we've got 30 videos and playlists there. So if you're jonesing for some dance fitness, that is something we do actually have that exists on the World Wide Web. But for tomorrow, see if you can find yourself a backpack, and we're gonna do lots of fun options for weight training and so on. I mean, you can imagine what's gonna happen here. And so we have the opportunity to do a little bit of strength training in our homes. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'm happy to loan out weights from the studio, leave them on the porch with your name on it, and so on and so forth. So if you want to pick up some weights, just let me know. I think that's it for today, guys, gals, everybody, peoples, humans out there. It's a time. And take care of yourselves out there. Do your best to deep breathe, smile, and tell all the people that you know and love that you do love them. And what you're doing, staying connected to your bodies and working out and breathing and detoxing, I promise is doing you lots of good.